Today's challenge is to dig deep and ask yourself, what is my message? This is going to be very important because when people think of you, what will they think of? When they're having an issue, when they're having a problem in relation to what your message is, will they think of you? Will they call you? So if I'm speaking to the poets, I know you write about many things, but if you take an honest inventory of all of your writings, what do they somewhat all circle around? Is it social justice? Is it love poetry? Is it, you name it, you name it. For me, as it relates to poetry, it's not so much the poetry I write, it is what sustains the poetry. It's poetry in business. So when people think of Christoph Jenkins, they used to think of poetry. But now I've honed the message that I speak. I'm talking about what sustains poetry, and that is the business behind poetry, or the art of business in poetry. Okay? So when poets think of me, or they think of the Poet Life or the Poetry Business Network, their question is, how can I create a career with poetry? How can I do more with poetry? And who do I need to call? I need to call the Poet Life. I need to email, I need to DM Christoph. Why will people call you? For what reason? Within all of the poetry that you write and perform, what are you most known for? And you probably have not thought of the fact that you write more so about one subject matter, because I know you're diversified in your writings. But if you take a look at your poetry as a whole, I'm quite sure that you'll find that you write more about what you relate to, and what you relate to, others relate to as well. And it could simply be that you write in the voice of others. You write for causes that people advocate for. And that is very valuable. So again, the challenge today is for you to determine what your specific message is. Make that your lane. I have a student named Gadir. Her IG is Words by Lady G. She discovered that her lane is domestic violence. She's experienced it, and now she's advocating for it. And because she determined that that's her lane, now she's a resource for people and organizations connected to domestic violence. So she's creating poetry events and creative events and campaigns that fight against domestic violence and advocate for the survivors of domestic violence. You see where I'm going with this? I want you to take an honest inventory of your writings. Take a look at your portfolio of writings. Take a look at your notebooks. What do you usually write about? And you'll find that you tend to lean toward a specific lane. That means that's where you need to be working in. Do me a favor, drop in the comments what you believe your lane is. Share your feedback and pass this video on to somebody else that needs to know what their message is. Finding out your message will give you direction and trajectory. Have an awesome day.